Hello everyone, this is Laughing Eye Weeping Eye, and I'm going to talk a little bit about reading symbols and how to be a visual tarot reader. And this is something I explore in my zine called Reading the Signs, how to interpret what you see in tarot and oracle cards. And this is about how to really hone in on different images in the cards. And the reason I think this is important is because obviously no two tarot decks are the same. So you want to be able to go past the meaning of the card and really look at what the image is telling you. So we can see in the Brady Tarot here that the Hermit is symbolized by an owl. Here in the Rider-Waite-Smith, we see an old man. And here in my deck, the Laughing Eye Weeping Eye Tarot, we have a actual hermit crab. So three very different interpretations. So if I were doing a reading with the Brady Tarot and the Hermit was drawn, I would first talk about visually what I'm seeing and also what I think it might mean. So as I see an owl in the Brady Tarot, I think of wisdom. I think of the goddess Athena, who is connected to the owl. I also see the waning moon in the background. It's getting very close to the new moon. So I would also take a moment to ask the querent, if I'm doing a reading, sort of, is something coming up in the next moon cycle for you? So looking at something like the moon can kind of clue you into a timeline. So that's just one symbol that I'm noticing. The other thing I'm thinking about with the owl is that owls can turn their heads 270 degrees. So they can practically turn their head all the way around. And the owl is really, really up high and looking down afar, which is very different from this hermit, who's kind of only looking at the steps they're taking one by one. Whereas the owl would be able to travel a faster distance with incredible vision and to see far away. So these would be kind of two different mindsets. The hermit in this card is having great perspective. They're turning their head 270 degrees to see the past, the present, and the future. Owls are also fierce predators. They can, through their night vision and the subtle cues of the grounds below, they can tell where something is. So this card to me would be suggesting that all of those different abilities are coming into play for the person that I'm reading for. Here, this card seems to communicate a little bit more about age. We have an old man. So this card may not just be about introspection, but maybe it's about time. Maybe it's about aging. It could be about going on a walk, needing to walk or physically move more. It also seems to me that the hermit is turning his back on something. So turning your back or leaving something and following the light of your own truth to guide you. So you can see how those two different cards have very subtle and different interpretations. And this is why it's important to read the image first before the card meaning. And then the Laughing Eye Weeping Eye Tarot, we have the hermit crab, which would be by a body of water. Now in this card, the background is fairly simple. It's white, kind of suggesting maybe a white sand beach, or maybe even just sort of a clean slate, starting on a clean slate. These hermits are, to me, I'm seeing this on like a winter mountain. He's very isolated. Here, I'm seeing kind of like a desert landscape. And here we might think of, like I said, a beach or water. And so these could convey a sense of place. And they might also tell you a bit about, elementally what's happening here. Here we have an earth and air presence. Here we have very much more earth. And here we have perhaps earth and water, which would be saying emotional work and perhaps even groundedness, matters of home, feeling connected to place, and being able to go between realms, water and earth. So those are a couple of different things to consider when using different tarot decks and how you might read symbols and images in cards. All right, thanks. Bye.